Greetings everyone, how's it going? Got another Ker Nethalas video for you. Today I'm going to be playing Ker Nethalas using the Foundry module that I created called KerNethalasCSB. This is an unofficial module for Ker Nethalas Into the Midnight Throne, which is a single player and co-op dungeon survival game by Blackoath Entertainment. In the first video, I just showed how to install this module and some of the issues you might run into, how to work around those and all that kind of stuff. In this video, I'm going to play the game. So I'll show you how I use the module to play the game. And so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So one of the first things I do, normally I play with pen and paper and no computers or anything like that. And when I play like that, then I will generate a map on the fly using the tables. But when I play on the computer, I want to keep it going, and I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to map it out using the tools in Foundry. So I just randomly generate a dungeon and I make it big enough where I should be able to find the layer and the exit before I've explored every room. If I don't, that's okay, because let's say I get to the last room and I haven't found the layer yet. Well, the last room is the layer and the exit. Or let's say I found the layer already, I haven't found the exit. Well, the last room's the exit, and so that solves that. So let's get into it, and I'll show you how I set everything up. First, I will show you the modules I'm using, and not all of these are essential, but I like the dice So Nice. It's a 3D dice. The dice tray is really good too. Another one that's useful, I don't use this that much on this one, but this is a nice tool, Dungeon Draw. I would highly recommend getting. I will show you how I generate a level. What I do is I go to a scene and I create the scene with the default settings, except I make the grid be 60 pixels. That way, and that may seem small, but I do it that way because then I can generate a fairly large dungeon without the total pixel width and height being this massive number. I usually have the padding way down, and the rest is the defaults for that page. The background, I'll usually make it pretty dark, at least for this game, just to make it, more gritty looking and more contrast, because the textures I use for the floors are already dark. So if it was real bright background, it would hurt my eyes. I also crank the darkness up, to 0.7 or so. Turn on token vision, fog exploration's on, and that's it. Then in Dungeon Draw, I have my own theme, which is they're not complicated to make. I just take the default, I took the default theme, I made the door line thickness thinner, I made the door thickness less thick, and then I made the doors kind of this dark brown color. Another thing I did is I took a texture from a commercially available map making pack for it was a floor texture, and I scaled it down because the stones were too big. The scale looked wrong, so I made a custom version and kind of messed with the colors a little bit. Then I also took the walls and made those thinner and made them gray, the wall thickness. I think that was pretty much it, how I did that. And I saved all that as my own theme. So then I'll generate the dungeon. So I'll go to the generate dungeon, and I don't use 2D dungeon, I use the Dungeoneer algorithm, and then I think I can fit maybe 50 by 65, I believe, and I generate the doors. We'll see. I might have to do it again and make it smaller. That's okay. I mean, I'm right at the edge, but that's okay. So that's not bad. That's a lot of rooms, a lot of corridors. And then I just pick an entrance. So I just arbitrarily say, okay, this is my entrance. So I'm going to do that. Going to arbitrarily say that is the entrance. So then I'll put a light in here. Like that. That's it. And then I'm ready to go. I try not to look at the map when I'm playing. I just go through. If I have to click on something else and it's showing everything, I try to be zoomed in as much as possible and just sort of ignore everything, so it's a surprise to me what the layout is. And that works generally. All right, so that is the basic way how to generate the dungeon. So now I'm gonna play the game. I have a character already created. His name is Tibirius. He's level 1, experience 0. I've picked the bastard sword for his weapon. He randomly rolled up heavy greaves for his armor. He's got 20 coins. And, some cooking supplies, some crafting supplies. Make sure the tension die are set, the layer die I rolled up. The overseer is the pyroclasmic possessor, which is kind of a flame demon sort of thing. The overseer influence is vital, which is a plus D4 health to all the encounters, the different enemies I face per 5 levels of my character. So at least starting out, they're all going to have plus D4 health. Here's my background story. I was vying for the love of a fair maiden, and my competition, who is a landed lord, decided that I needed to be done away with because I was just a commoner. Yeah, and the grammar's weird there. He had me charged with witchcraft because she preferred me over him. After a quick ruling by the local magistrate, I was convicted and hung. So none of us are really guilty, right? I was a good guy. And they just got rid of me. Those corrupt people up above. And my personal goals are the Overseer overthrown, so I can get the amulet when I defeat the first domain's Overseer, if I do. And I pick Scavenger, so I'm going to be focusing on scavenging the rooms, 100 rooms. I keep track of that here. As I scavenge rooms, I'm going to increase this number. And I guess I don't need to track it here, because once I make it, then I get the amulet. But anyways, these are my attributes, the skills I picked. Set my light source back to 20. Have a bastard sword. And the masteries I picked are Abyssal Reaver, which is sort of he channels dark powers. And I picked the Infernal Flame ability. And then I picked Tracker, which gives me advantage on all scavenge and perception checks. And I picked the Edible Fungi mastery ability. That's my character. We'll go ahead and bring him out. There he is. He's on the bone pile. Looking up high above. There's light shining through. And he's rubbing his neck and he's just going, man, I can't believe I'm alive. How in the heck am I going to get out of this place? Now, the way I play it, you may play it differently. But the way I do it, so all I do in the entrance is I look at the doors and then I determine if the doors are locked or not. The rest, I'm just assuming the room looks a very specific way as described in the manual for the starting area. There's fat, bloated rats. This is a big starting room, which are not really a threat because there's all kinds of corpses. And, I would say the corpse pile is probably way bigger than that, but that's just for, just to kind of give it the indication of what the room is. So this is a massive room I'm in. For how I do things, I pick a door that I want to check out. And if it isn't locked, then I open it immediately. If it is locked, then I will right click it so that it shows that it's locked. And I won't determine the difficulty until I'm ready to either lockpick it or break it down. And of course, I don't determine if it's trapped or anything until I'm into that process. So that is how I run it. No description for this room, like I said. So I'm gonna pick a door. I'm just gonna pick this first door over here, and I'm gonna see if it is the door is locked or not. And what does it say? It is locked. Okay, so that door is locked. So I walk up to this door, probably got a big ring on it or something like that, and I try and turn it, and no, and then I can see, oh, okay, it's locked. And I don't want to try and smash it down, and because I don't have any lock picks and I'm not good at lock picking anyways, I'm gonna walk across this big giant room and see what's up with this door. This door locked? It's not locked. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna see what's on the other side. And it is a small little room. And that means I will roll for a description. And let's see, here we go. I rolled a 30 and it says, as you enter this room, haunting visions and terrifying illusions assault you. Okay, so that's the first room I hit, is just some crazy haunted stuff. I'm gonna write that down real quick. Now I will do a tension check. And tension increases. That does not surprise me, and I know it's all random, but if I'm following the narrative, that doesn't surprise me because I just walked into this crazy room and already the growing darkness has progressed. We'll also check to see if I'm any closer to the layer. And that's a no. And now I will deduct 1 from my light source and check to see if there's an encounter. And if I do, what it is. Okay, so there is no encounter in this room. Because there's no encounter, I can now check to see if there's an event. Let's roll the event. Okay. Or I should say I just, I roll on the event table. Right, because you don't check to see if there's an event. There is an event if there's no encounter and you're in a room. And so this says, a twisted effigy made from the remains of countless people has been erected here. Ugh. A dark energy draws you closer to it, but you can try to resist. Make a resolve check. If successful, you earn 10 XP. If you fail, you feel the urge to somehow contribute to this monument of death, deeply cutting your arm and pouring blood over it. You receive 3d4 slashing damage. Okay, this is nuts. So the growing darkness happened, the tension, this haunting visions, terrifying illusions, and now this twisted effigy that I have to do a resolve check for. So let's see, I gotta roll against my resolve. And my resolve is only 10. So here we go. And that's a fail. 3d4 slashing damage. And my arm. So I don't have armor on my arm, I don't think. So the slashing damage is gonna do +1. I'll look at them individually. Okay, that's not good. All 4s. So a 5, a 4, and a 4. 5, a 4, and a 4 is 4 points of damage. Alright, so I have succumbed to this dark urge. I bleed all over this statue. And now I can scavenge if I want. So let's scavenge. So I have advantage because of the tracker mastery. And that's good. So success. So I can roll on the scavenge table. And I find nothing of interest. And now let's move on, I guess. There's nothing else I can do, really. I mean, I could camp or something like that, but I don't really want to do that yet. So what door do I want? Door number 1 or door number 2? I will try this door. Let's go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. See if this door is locked or not. And it's not locked. We'll head out into this hallway. Now, the way I do the hallways is I just make a judgment call on where if there's multiple corridors connecting to each other, where one begins and the other ends, just by exploring it a little bit. And I think we'll call all this section just one corridor. As soon as I come through the door, we should see what the room looks like, or what the corridor looks like. It says the air is heavy with ancient dust, and the walls are lined with cobwebs. The faint echoes of distant footsteps can be heard. So I can kind of picture that. The Tibirius has come out of that crazy room, the first room he went in, and enters this corridor, this long, dark corridor. It's dark. Walls are covered in cobwebs, and I'm hearing echoes and footsteps. So I'm hearing some monsters or other people, maybe ghosts. I don't know. Let's check the tension. Okay, no change. And let's see if there's an encounter. And there's no encounter. So that means we can continue on. So I'm gonna go down this corridor a little ways. And so I will call this another segment of the corridor. And that means I'm going to roll for a description. Flickering torches cast eerie shadows on the stone walls. The air is damp, and the occasional drip of water can be heard. So there's torches. That means there's got to be someone down here, unless it's magic. Water dripping, probably just leaks from the city above. Damp air. We will see if the tension increases here. And it does. Growing darkness. So something bad is happening. And now we'll see if there's an encounter. And there is not. I want to see if this wraps around. It does to the locked door. I'll call this area a new corridor segment. So as I turn the corner, an eerie silence fills this corridor, broken only by the faint whispers of long dead spirits. The air is heavy with an otherworldly stillness. Sometimes that can be more tense than the weird noises and all that. I mean, even though there's faint whispers, it's just the stillness. Tension. No. Tension is not increasing here. And the encounter check is a 2, so no. No encounter. Okay, and so I can at least explore down here. This is probably all the same eerie stillness sort of thing going on here. And I find that door there. So I got 2 different doors. Well, I want to check this door just to see if it's locked or not. Just curious. That door's not locked. And I'm not going in there. And I will check this door. And that door's not locked. And I am going in there. And I'm in another corridor. And yeah, we'll go ahead and roll it up. The corridor seems to shimmer with an otherworldly glow. Transparent figures of long-dead souls can be seen drifting through the walls, oblivious to the living. Tension check. Oh, man, we're getting down to it. Growing darkness already almost here on me. Not good. Okay, let's see if there's an encounter. I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, so no encounter. So we'll keep going. And what is this door? That door is locked. All right. So, backtracking does incur a tension check. So I'm back in that eerie stillness corridor. Let's check out what's over here to the east. And is this a new corridor? Do you think it's part of the eerie stillness? Let's see. Say it's part of the eerie stillness. So let's check this door. The door is not locked. Well, we're gonna enter. Okay, we found another room. And so what does this room look like? An ancient corrupted forge where weapons were crafted from the souls of the fallen. How would I know that? But still, that's super cool. Yeah, so I put that like that. Got this ancient forge. We'll check the tension. Woo! All right. Are we closer to the layer? We are. Okay. And light source. And is there an encounter? There is. So it looks like I have encountered a Vinekin. Drag the Vinekin onto the map. And let's see. So the Vinekin, first of all, we have to roll a d4 to get his health because of the Overseer influence, and that's going to go up by 3. Only one appearing. It says it's unclear what the Vinekin, a plant-like humanoid species, is doing in Ker Nethalas. Their forms are a nightmarish tangle of writhing vines and thorny brambles that somehow form the outline of a humanoid shape. The Vinekin wield dark and chaotic powers, able to manipulate the corrupted plant life to ensnare and entrap their prey. They can summon tendrils and thorns to tear apart their enemies, but they seem to prefer direct physical combat. Many attempts at communicating with them have been made, but unfortunately they seem to be only interested in violence. Well, who's trying to communicate with them? I'll communicate with them. I'm going to say a few things, which I won't say out loud, but in my mind, hurling a few words at them. Okay, so the Vinekin. Well, I am not a stealthy character. Tiberius is not stealthy, so I'm not going to try and do the surprise. I'm just going to do a regular initiative roll. And so the way I do that is perception versus awareness, and I get advantage because I'm a tracker on my perception roll. So do that. And that is a critical fail. So that means unless he critical fails, he has surprised me. So he's going to get a full round to attack me, where I can't attack back. And he, or it, I don't know if it's a he or a she. And I'll do that, and that'll put the Vinekin on top. Vinekin first. Vinekin is going to get to go. I'm surprised, so I don't even get to go this round. So what's he gonna do? Okay, the Vinekin's gonna use its entangling roots. The Vinekin summons twisted roots from the ground to ensnare all creatures within a room. Each creature in that area must succeed on a dodge check or be entangled. And so that's a magical ability, and that means I get a magic resist. And I failed, and so now I get one more chance here. I'm gonna do a dodge. Doing the dodge, and I missed the dodge, and so that means I am entangled. Bummer. So when I'm entangled, I believe that means I get a -20 to anything I do that implies movement. I also, which I would assume would be combat, for one, and I get a free athletics check to see if I can break out of it, or I can spend a standard action and get +20 on my athletics check to get out of it. So it's the next round, and the Vinekin's gonna go first. Vinekin is doing a brutal slam this time, and I don't know why it says there. I will check that out real quick. Okay, I've behind the scenes here while the recording was paused, I have been working on this for at least 30 minutes, and I finally found the problem, and I don't know if there's a coding solution to fix it. The issue is the description of the action had an apostrophe S. Well, that was being interpreted as the end of a string, because in JavaScript you indicate a string's beginning and end with either double quotes or a single quote. Sometimes the I don't know what you call the other weird single quote thing above the tilde, but the apostrophe S here was throwing it off, and it thought this is the end of the string and the rest of this is code. So I had to escape this when you're programming. To escape a character means you're saying, don't treat this as a special character. This is just text. And usually to escape a character, it's a backslash. So I just took a wild chance, and I saw that apostrophe. I said, okay, I'm going to try and escape that. I did, and you can see it over here. It works. So what a pain. And so that is a gotcha. If you're putting these things in and you're getting an issue, maybe look at that. If you have an apostrophe in your string, and it's going to be different. Some are going to be okay if they don't. If the text isn't used as a result of a roll, it shouldn't be a problem. But because these are used as a result, it is a problem. Okay, so let's go on. So for me, it's been this ordeal. For you, it's just a few seconds later. So, Brutal Slam. The Vinekin charges at a target, dealing D8 bludgeoning damage on a hit. Additionally, the target must succeed on an athletics check or be knocked prone as the Vinekin's brute force overpowers it. Okay, so this is a physical attack. It'll be his combat skill plus 10 against my combat skill, the bladed weapons. Now, the bladed weapons, I have a defense bonus 15, 5 for the speed, 10 for the parrying. So let's see how this goes. He is doing the Brutal Slam. Okay, so we'll roll his combat skill. Gets the plus 10 because it's his attack. And he's sick. Oh, that's a fumble. Okay, so that's a fumble. And what do I get? I succeeded. So he fumbled, I succeeded. That is going to be a defensive move for me. And I don't know if I have that. Oh, here we go. You get a moment of respite after fending off your opponent's attack. Recover 2 toughness, 2 health in case of NPCs and opponents. Okay, so I recovered 2 toughness. That's pretty cool. And so now it is my turn. Now I am entangled, so I will do the athletics check, the free one, to see if I can get unentangled. And I failed, so I'm going to have a negative 20 on my attack. Now, I get a plus 5 for the speed, a plus 10, so plus 15, but minus 20, so it's a negative 5. Here we go. Negative 5. And that is a hard fail there. And we'll check and see if he gets a defensive move against me. And he does. Okay, so it's saying that for the rest of this combat, my armor is reduced by 1 in a random location. So I'll roll on the humanoid location table and see where that is. Chest. So I don't have any armor on my chest, so it doesn't matter. Or next round. And now it's the Vinekin's turn. What's he gonna do? He's doing another Brutal Slam. So that is his combat skill against mine. Oh, and mine's minus 20. I forgot about that. So his will be at 40 because he gets the plus 10. And he succeeds. Mine is going to be at minus 5. And I made it with a critical success. So that means he misses me. And I rolled a 4, and that means if I was prone, paralyzed, or stunned, or some other similar condition, I automatically recover. Otherwise, my next attack receives an additional plus 10. That's cool. So it's going to be, in that case, a plus 5. And I'm doing the bladed weapon. Or no, first I'm going to do an athletics check to see if I can get out of this stupid web. And that's a critical fumble, so no. I'm not in the, or I'm still in the web. So I will roll my attack, and that's at a plus 5 because I get that plus 10. And I failed. And does he, or does it make its roll? It does not make its roll, so that's the end of that round. Okay, back to the Vinekin. What's it gonna do? doing a Thorn Lash. The Vinekin extends its arm, summoning sharp, thorny vines to lash out at a target, dealing d6 piercing damage on hit. Okay, so he gets a +10. And that is a fail. And so I am at -20, but so I'm at -5 still. And I succeeded. And so I get a defensive move. And I get a +10 on my attack here. Cool. All right, please let me get out of this stupid web. And the answer is no. But I get a +10, so I'm at +5. And that is a hit. And does he block it? He does not, so I finally hit this thing. It has armor everywhere, so I guess, though, I should roll to see if I hit it in the head, just in case I do. Okay, so let's see if I hit him in the head. Hit him in the left leg. I slashed his leg. I don't get the +1 bonus because he's got the armor, so I get a d6 damage. Oh, cool. Well, I rolled the 6. I believe that's 2 points. The 6 is 2 points. Cool. But his armor blocks 1. That's fine. I've done a point of damage. I finally damaged him. I cut one little leaf off of him. And boy, is he PO'd. I almost said a bad word. Pissed. It's not really a bad word, but it's trying to be funny. Okay, so next will be what? The next round. And did I try and get out of it? I did, and I failed. Okay. So what's he gonna do? What's the Vinekin gonna do? The Slimekin Vinekin. He is going to do the Entangling Roots. So that is a magic resistance check, first of all. And I failed that. And then it's a dodge. Come on. And I failed that. So I'm entangled. Still. I'm double entangled. Athletics check. Come on, get me out of this thing. Gosh dang it. Alright, so I had a -5 here. -5. 81. That's a fail. But he failed too, so cool. Okay, we're on round 6. What is the Vinekin gonna do now? More entangling. He just likes seeing me all bound up. He's kind of creepy that way. Magic resist. And I failed the magic resist. Dodge. I failed the dodge. So I'm even more entangled. At least that attack doesn't do damage. Okay. Please. Should I just spend the points? No. No. I'm gonna be greedy. Yes! Yes, I am no longer entangled. Thank you. Thank you, the gods of Ker Nethalas, the Midnight Throne. Blessings to the Midnight Throne. Okay, so I get to attack like normal with a +15 this time to my skill. And that makes me happy. And it helped me there exactly right at the edge of what I could roll. I don't think he's gonna. No. Where did I hit this son of a gun? Do I have? Yeah, it's right there. Hit him in the chest. Okay, so it's a D6. So the most I can do is 1 point. Alright. And I think that's 1 point. It sure is. And whittling him down. Whittling him down. Only got 6. Okay, here he comes. Swamp thing. Boy, it looks like. Brutal Slam is the physical one. So it's a physical attack. He gets the +10. Let's see, does he misses. Do I get a defensive move? I don't. And that's okay. Because he missed. And I'm not entangled. So I was going to try a spell here. Spend some ether. And do this Infernal Flame. So he will get the magic resist. And he fails. So I get 1d6 plus 1d4 infernal damage on him. So we'll roll that. But yeah. So a 4 and a 5. I rolled a 4 and a 5. So the 4 is a 1 and the 5 is a 2. That's 3. But his armor will mitigate 1. I should see, though, if I hit him in the head. That would be glorious. And I don't. But -1. So it's 2. Alright, well, that was worth it. Mark off the ether I used. Aether, however you pronounce it. Pronounce it. Okay, what now? Man, I gotta kill this thing. Total a-hole. What's it doing? It's going for the Thorn Lash. Okay, will it succeed? Yes, it does. Well, can I defend against it? Yes. And I get the defensive move. And your opponent immediately suffers 1d4 damage that ignores armor. Yes. Thank you. Oh, but 0. Alright, well, that's okay. That was his attack. Now it's mine. And I'm going to do the bladed weapon. +15. Do I hit? I do. With a 10. And does he hit? Or does it defend? And it does not defend. So that means I get to roll damage. Please, big damage. Of course. So its armor blocks the damage. This thing is a total a-hole. Round 9. Complete and utter a-holius maximus. Thank goodness for the, no, wrong thing. For the, okay, so he's bleeding 2 now. That's good, because that gets through the armor. So that means he's going to take a point of damage next turn. I win either way. Finally. Okay, I hit. He defends. and beats me. He gets the defensive move on me. Oh, and I immediately suffer 1 damage. Alright. Next round. Conditions. He bleeds. He's dead. I won. Finally killed this complete piece of crap. Okay. So I get to roll on the spoils table. I'm going to wrap it up here. Just trying to get through this combat. I finally beat him. 24 rounds. And he dies from bleeding. Alright, so 50 XP, and I get to roll on the spoils table. Let's see what I got. So I rolled on the mundane table, and I got, after all that, I got 2 crafting supplies. That mother. 2 crafting supplies. Well, we gotta scavenge. No, because if it's another encounter with one of those things. I gotta do it though. Gotta do it. Scavenging. I get advantage. Please, Midnight Throne. Yeah, okay. I get to roll on the scavenge table. And I resolve or lose sanity. That is just not very nice. A resolve check. Come on. Come on. Yes, I made it. Okay, at least I made the check. Okay, well, I scavenged. Almost lost some sanity because I found just some grisly remains. Overall, this room was not kind to me. What was that? Is a 24-round combat with this stupid Vinekin. That's okay though. That's what happens. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, you guys, and we'll see. And maybe I'll do an episode 2. I don't know. But I'll probably fast forward the combat in the replay. All right, well, that's it. Take care. See y'all next time.